With estate planning, it can get overwhelming, and if you might not have the lifeguard that you need to help, well, we have her right here. It's Legacy Lifeguard Heidi Thompson, who's here to give us some insight to estate planning. Hope I said estate planning, which is so important to us right now. And Heidi, we were talking about this, is that, you know what, no matter really large income, small income, an estate is so important. And why is that?
Well, it doesn't even matter if you have any income at all. If you're over 18, you have a legal voice, and your parents no longer have it for you. So if you were in an accident, nobody has that legal voice unless you give it away. So everyone from 18 to 118 needs to be able to give away that legal voice with power of attorney for their financial and their health care. So even before we talk about wills and trusts, there's more to estate planning that has to do with you than your money.
Yeah, and you said it right there. People think of estates as leaving money, leaving houses and stuff, but it's more talking about, like you said, their health, which people don't realize. And we always hear the stories of, you know, mom and dad going to the hospital after a child has been in an accident, and they're like, I'm sorry, you can't come in. And they're like, well, that's my son. Well, I'm sorry, they're 18, 21. Until they can tell us it's okay, you can't come in. And that's why that's important at a young age.
Exactly. So you're sending your kids off to college. It's an important thing to take care of even then, yes.
So, and then with seniors, it's the same thing too, because you know, as we start to take care of our parents at home and stuff, even though they're living in your home, even though they're parents, if something happens to them, you don't have voice in it, and that's why that estate planning is so important.
Exactly. You got it. See, you got this.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Let's talk about the book you have here, because this is where you, of course, are the lifeguard for your legacy.
Yes.
And that's what you want to make sure people understand. And so hold up one more time, because I want people to see this, because
Certainly.
this is available for people, and you're there to guide them through this, because it's like car shopping.
Exactly. I don't use that analogy in the book, but I use that now a lot when I talk about estate planning. There are three, imagine you're going car shopping, there's only 3 cars on the lot. There's something you look at and think immediately, this is a lemon. There's a reliable looking Honda, and then there's the luxury car of your dreams. Those are your 3 choices in estate plans. Yeah. The lemon, you do nothing. The state law is going to kick in, and it's going to make decisions for you, because you've got an estate plan. If you don't, it's the state's plan.
Right.
and they're going to not take care of your health care or your financials during your lifetime, and after you die, they're going to decide where your stuff goes.
Yeah.
Or you've got the Honda plan, where you get to decide where your stuff goes. You can make sure that you've got a guardian for your kids, someone to take care of your fur babies. You can make sure that the money goes where you want to with a will-based plan, and still have all those other directives taken care of. Or you can upgrade and do the luxury trust. And with the trust, you can do more than the will. With the trust, you can actually customize and make people jump through hoops. You can decide, truly, control from beyond the grave. You can make sure that your kids get things over time instead of in lump sums.
Yeah.
And you can even protect them from their own stupidity.
There you go, because I have a friend who, I will say, they're very wealthy, and they have an estate plan and a trust that's left to actually the dogs. And
it can be done in Arizona.
And
yes,
whatever child is, they haven't said who gets the dogs, but whoever's left the dogs is like in charge of the state now, but they have to take care of the dogs. And they said they did that because the kids lately have been, as you can say, careless with paying money, doing stuff. And that's what also a estate plan can do. And that's where you come to sit down, because again, you want to protect your legacy. Also, people can do this if they've donated to charities and stuff, and they want their name to be kept a certain way. Is that right?
Yes, you can actually do quite a lot of charitable planning through your estate plan. There are even organizations that we can work with that will allow something that goes on forever.
Yeah, and that's your legacy right there.
Exactly.
And that's what's so important, and having a lifeguard like you to help you through it is so important. And again, there's so many different plans. You said it's like car shopping, so why not sit
But
down?
a lot of people think they need the luxury vehicle.
Right.
And they don't. They need a reliable Honda. Arizona is actually a very friendly state where you can get away with a will. Now, you're going to hear people say, oh, but then you have to go through probate court. Yes, you may have to go through probate. That's not so bad. But you might also be able to avoid probate just with some good asset planning. So I teach people how to do that too. The book goes through that. They can get that free on my website as well as a download.
I like it. I know we got to wrap up, but I do have one question for you that people might ask. If I made an estate in another state, does it still cover me here in Arizona?
That's a great question and a little bit of a complicated one. It was valid where it was made, but it's going to still be interpreted and administered here, which if it's a non-community property state can be a real challenge.
There you go. I like that. Tell them how they can get a hold of you, Heidi.
You bet. So you can reach me at 602-529-1827, but the best way is really to go to my website, lifeguardinglegacies.com. On there you can schedule appointments, find lots of information. It's really easy use.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So there you go. She answered one of my questions for me that I always had wanted to ask.